Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all are doing well. We'll let some people flow in here and then we'll get started. All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's get my screen up there. Hopefully I click on the right one. Nice. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes without any express or implied warranty of any kind. Please feel free to read this so that way you know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is all for just educational purposes only. Good stuff. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Let's start going over the morning analysis coming into the session. We've had some pretty interesting weekly templates leading us into Friday. And I'm starting out now on the CAD. I'm going to be starting out on the CAD. And just remembering that throughout any given week, we're looking for those nice weekly templates, 3 levels of rise and fall, first red, first green, all those types of templates that are aligned with the types of setups that we're looking for. So US CAD, this is something that I was talking about yesterday, and I had this 3 question mark up there. These are some of the annotations that I had made yesterday and also last night. Peak formation low from Wednesday, Thursday last week, level 1, level 2, and then maybe coming up for level 3 today. Looking for a sell high opportunity if it were to present. Frame the day, peak formation low made down in Asia, and then we're starting to ascend. I'm not going to sit here and try and count or guess how many levels up we've got, but I do know just from looking at this that at this current time, as we're speaking right now, there is a peak formation high. Whether or not we've got one more level up or not on the day, I have no idea, but I am going to be watching. There's a numbered box level as well. If I were to throw up the 100 pip box real quick. There's a numbered level right here. This is 50. I think that's 50. That's double zeros, right? Yep. Okay, so this is 50. And we have tapped up into that. And like I said, I don't know if we've got one more up to go, but we'll be seeing. So that's for the CAD. All right, let's go down to US dollar, Japanese yen. Take a little look at this. Go to the 1 hour chart and some of my annotations leading us into this Friday. No 3 days of breakouts or anything like that. They've triggered a previous day's low down here, and peak formation low was made on Friday of last week. Consolidation, level 1, that has now exploded. Spiked the high, spiked the low, and I'm still looking for maybe that 3rd level of rise leading us into this Friday. There is actually 1 day of breakouts, and then the second day yesterday, and then now today kind of tapping into that high. So we can go down frame the day on this pair as well. Again, looking for 3 levels of rise templates on the day. Peak formation low was made and formed earlier in the day. That's going to give me my 1, and that's going to give me 2. And I'd be looking for 3. Now, they've already put in a peak formation high up here, so maybe my level count is off or something like that. This could have been, 1, and then 2, and then 3. I have no idea. But regardless of any of that, if I pop into this pair and there's one more level to the high or something like that, or just a sell high in general, that might be good. If it continues to dump, my idea is going to be void, and I'm not going to be looking for that anymore. And that'll be okay as well. But that is my idea for this pair. 3 days of breakouts. And also, it's a Friday. You know, we've got 3 levels of rise. First push out of the opening range. Second push out of the opening range. Maybe today we'll get that third push outside of the opening range. Market's been going up for some time. And that would be fine with me. Take a look at gold now. Starting out on the 1 hour chart, peak formation low at low of week, level 1, 2, and we're up into 3. We could also look at it from the perspective of peak formation low 1, 2, and 3. Now we've maybe done a reset and continued to go higher. So this could be, you know, a range expansion or a larger range expansion based off of higher time frames. Gold might have some room to go. However, peak formation, maybe a reset, 1, 2. Frame the day, peak formation low, 1, 2. So I've got this as maybe we've got one more level to go on this pair as well. This is also 3 sessions on the last day of the week outside of a breakout, which means that we have breakout traders in the market early in the day, session 1, session 2, maybe session 3 to the high, and then maybe a rollover to come back down and grab these breakout traders. Do I have space to get down there? Yes, I do. I've got plenty, 150 pips. So that trade could still be good. So I'll be looking for a sell high on this pair as well, if that were to present in the session. Let's see, high, low, higher high, lower low on the inside. So that's decent. Like to see that. Okay, that does not mean that it has to go down by any means, but that is the setup. That is what I'm looking for. Good stuff. Okay, US Swiss. I don't remember exactly what kind of analysis I did on this one yesterday. I think I just identified the inside day and then called it quits. But coming off this, you know, we had a very large pumping day, an inside day that also closed with a peak formation high at the high of the current week, and they closed below the open. Not to say that this is going to go down today, but this is an inside day. So after an inside day, if this is a first red day as well, maybe looking for 3 levels of rise, previous day's levels to be triggered. They did not trigger previous day's low or high yet. So let's frame the day and see if that even makes sense to be looking for that. On the day itself, you can see peak formation low at low of day. Little W makes a run. Okay, and then we've got maybe level 1. Level 2 is going to be a bit cloudy. Do something like this, and then maybe 3. Giving me that peak formation high at the high of current day. Did they make a lower low on the inside? High, low, higher high. Well, I'll use this as a reference. So yes, they have made a lower low on the inside. Something to be watching as well. All right. At the very least, giving me a very good thesis about what could happen, you know, on the day and things like that. This has already started moving a bit early. I don't really care for that. I kind of prefer to see them continuing to pump into the New York session. And then I get that high of day sell to go from high of day back down to low of day, whereas this has already started moving. Let's go on to US 30, find something I'm maybe more interested in. Okay, US 30 coming off of a very large peak formation. And you can see the levels of drop. They broke down here once, twice, and now we're down 3 times. Yesterday, put in a peak formation low at the low of the current week, and they opened. Very large dumping day. Multiple days of breakouts to the downside, maybe even level 3 to the downside. They broke out. This day right here, Thursday, they broke out peak formation at low of week, and then they ran it kind of up into the close and then closed the day. First green day. Now, it's a first green day. That just means that I'm looking for a buy low opportunity on this day, which means I need to frame my day. Do I have 3 levels of drop coming into the New York Open and coming into the session? It's only 8 o'clock right now. We've got some time to get over to, 10 o'clock. What time is the news today? 10 o'clock, so later in the day. Peak formation high, high of day. We also have peak formation made at the end of yesterday. This might be 1 down, 2 down, peak formation low, peak formation high. maybe leading us down into that third level of drop into the beginning of the New York session. So that is personally what I would be looking for them to trade back down into the peak formation made from yesterday after having made a higher high on the day. Higher high, break in structure to the upside, 3 levels or 3 pushes back down. That is what I will be looking for on this pair. For any of these pairs, anybody that's new here and, you know, maybe you don't quite understand, all I'm doing is building a thesis based off of what has happened the past couple of days. What has the week done? What signals do I have leading me into today? Is it a buy low or a sell high style of day? And then looking for evidence of that. Coming down, framing my day. If it's a buy low, I want 3 levels of drop. I want to be buying below closing price. I want to be buying, low of current day or trading down into a peak formation. Like, those are all the types of things that I'm searching for. Now, on the flip side of that, I am totally understanding that I am not smarter than the market. It could go vertical to the downside and just keep going lower. So be it. Let it go. See you later. But developing a thesis and what to look for each day prior to my session beginning is common practice for me. And then waiting and seeing if the behavior of price at a certain time of day is going to line up well. So, US 30, I'm liking this. I think it's got a lot more development to go before actually looking to take the trade, but this is a pair that I would like to watch today based off that first green day. Now, pound dollar is a little bit of a different story in the sense that, I was saying, hey, this could be, level 1, 2, 3, and then ending in a 1, 2, 3, and then we had a peak formation made at the high of this week. We dropped down. This could be a reset and maybe level 1, 2, and 3. I thought yesterday was a first green day, large dumping day, peak formation high, peak formation low, day that's traded lower first and then closes and open. Except today, I come to the screen and they continue to go lower. So that means the low is not in place yet. And they've continued to break out to the downside. 1 push outside of the opening range, 2 pushes outside of the opening range, and maybe now for 3 to the downside. Level 1. If this is a reset, and this is a peak formation made at the high of the week, this is level 1 consolidation. That puts us down in 2. Keeping that in the back of my mind. So let's frame the day. Peak formations were made at the high of the day. And as we're breaking out lower, you can see the acceleration of price to the downside. So with this pair, all I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off my low of day. And then I'm just going to watch that level and see kind of what happens outside of the breakout once, twice, 3 times. Might not be so bad. Okay. Pound, not necessarily something that I'm super inclined to watch. This first green day that I thought could turn into a buy low opportunity, still could turn into a buy low opportunity. However, I'm not married to that idea based off of the fact that this first green day is now void and we're going lower. No big deal. I would need a W, back to my kindergarten roots. I would need a W to form now at the low of the day, and I would be watching for that to happen in order for me to look for that buy low opportunity. Oil, I've got a really sophisticated, super involved, absolutely crazy analysis for you this morning. I think you're going to be very impressed. Here it is. I hope it's good for you. All right, good stuff. So we're in a trading range right now, and if you look at this on a higher time frame, this is probably a symmetrical triangle or something like that, but we're in between Friday's high, Thursday's low. We've just been trading in between that all day long, or all week long, excuse me. This really could break to either side, so I'm not super duper married to one thing or the other, and I might not even be watching this pair today. But I did frame my day regardless, and peak formation low. We've came up once. We've came up twice. Maybe now we're coming up a third time, but we're completely on the inside still. Coming off of maybe a larger peak formation down low. At this point, it feels like maybe I would just be guessing. So still going to watch oil today, just maybe for a session trade, 3 levels of rise on a Friday. Maybe we're finally going to break to the downside. Who knows? Or maybe we're going to break to the upside. But as far as setups go, looking for reoccurring patterns in the market, if I have a daily template, peak formation low, level 1, level 2, level 3, they trigger previous day's high, that could be the trade. Or, I'm completely wrong, it just goes vertical, and then I'll watch it go fly away. Euro USD. This is one of the ones that I said I just need to, there was good trades. Asia, London. I'm just going to avoid. It's just going lower. That's it. Nasdaq. This closed very different than US 30, where this one ran all the way up into the close. Somebody might consider that a first green day. Very well could be. But on these run into the close style of days, the next day tends to be some kind of run it all the way back down. And you know what? Even on oil, this first green day could be delayed in the sense that, maybe this is the higher high. And although we didn't get the long trade yesterday, it's delayed. And then maybe that's going to happen today, or has happened today. So maybe I need to be very careful about looking for a short trade on this. This could turn into, a large consolidation down low. If this starts exploding to the upside from that first green day made from 2 days ago, that could be a occurrence that happens. So I need to be careful looking for a reversal trade on this if it starts expanding up to the upside outside of that rectangle. So yeah, this was first green days. Notice how they ran it up into the close, and I was looking for a buy low opportunity yesterday, and it just never presented. They just kept running it back down all day long, peak formation low, and then now today. This is a really fine example of what I'm talking about here on the Nasdaq, where they ran it up into the close first green day, and then now, is that going to happen again today on this pair? So if they keep dragging lower and lower and lower all day long, mighty careful, mighty cautious. 3 push outside the opening range on gold. Yes. Yes, it is. And then EURJPY. This is another one that I was just like, man, this trade looks like it's already in process. They've just been going vertical all day long. Doing an expansion maybe of opening range for the week. Monday. Maybe we're coming down all the way down here. I don't really want to trade that, so I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to mainly focus, I think, on gold oil index, US 30, just like I always do. As far as currency pairs go, let's do a little vote again. CAD will be 1. Let's see, CAD will be 1. We'll do US dollar, Japanese yen is 2. And we'll do the pound dollar as 3. You all cast your votes. 1, 2, or 3. CAD, dollar, yen, or pound. 1, 2, and 3. See, I'm going to watch y'all's response and see. I already have in the back of my mind kind of what I think I should be watching. All right, let's see. I've seen a lot of, see, 3, 3, 3, couple of 2s. There's a 3. All right. So I think that US dollar, Japanese yen, the way that it's kind of gone into this creeping trend up, spike the low, spike the low. I kind of wouldn't mind watching this. That would be number 2. Number 1, I've seen a lot of people say CAD. I think the CAD is also a very good option for 3 levels of rise. I think I'm going to watch the CAD. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. But I do think the CAD is a viable, solid option. It seems like it's trading very clean today. The swings and all that, the peak formations are clear. We're at the high of day. I think this is a decent option to be watching. So I'm going to get my screen set up now. Oh, wrong one. Haha. Let's get rid of that. And we'll go over here. We'll tile my windows here. And as always, index top left, gold top right, oil bottom left, and then currency pair. In this case, I'm going to be watching the CAD in the bottom right. No break in structure yet. Yep, it's very true. They're still just making higher highs and higher lows. And gold. Now, gold does have a break in structure to the downside, but we might see a sweep of the high first before we get that trade. So definitely interested here in gold. I think this consolidation in itself is very clean. It's very clear, clean rectangle. Big fan of that. Let's see. US 30. See, this is supposed to be a buy low. And we've came down 1, 2, 3 to the low. Consolidated. Peak formation at the low. Now we have a peak formation high. I wouldn't mind see them shooting down at least one more time. Boy, that's a lot of pips. Maybe I should take a counter trend opportunity. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, oil. This is the one that I said I need to be very cautious about. If they start exploding to the upside, watch out for that range expansion. I don't want to get caught in a squeeze. And the CAD is a sell high, which day 2, 3-day cycle. We're kind of going back up into peak formations at the high. Good. Peak formation high, peak formation low. The peak formation low. Maybe we're going higher still. Cool. I've got very clear, concise, ideas coming into this session today, which makes me feel better just in general. Yesterday I just didn't have good feelings. And then the session just continued to prove that to me throughout the session, that it just was not ideal. And we kind of talked about that yesterday. It was just the setups just were not presenting as expected or as anticipated, and that's good. That's fine. Totally good with that. Wait for the better day. And I think today might be sort of a better day. We just have to be patient and aware of the time and constantly watching for the signal. So, how do you trade Forex on futures? There's certain, what do you call it? There's certain tickers for future pairs to basically trade currency pairs. If you just go on TradingView, in fact, you can do it here. I'll show you. Let's see. You go to futures, hit categories, hit currencies. There you go. Pound, yen, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Swiss. They're all there. The only thing with those is they are a little bit lower volume. So I've chose not to trade a lot of them because they're just not exactly, the volume's just not there. The candles look insane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit quiet out there this morning. I hope you all are doing well. I think this is going to be a good live stream. I'm pretty excited to do it. I'm well caffeinated this morning, so I might be a chatterbox. Who knows? I'm going to get my other screen set up real quick. Ooh, I'm going to take a look at silver as well. I started looking at one of the gentlemen in our Discord community, TC. He always seems to be trading silver, and kind of went over to take a look at it, and it actually looks like it trades really well. I wouldn't mind, now that I'm trading futures, wouldn't mind kind of taking a look at it. Which it actually looks fairly similar to gold right now. Aspiratus, could not agree more. Could not agree more. I'm certainly not here to be smarter than the market. I've just laid out what the template could be. And then I'm going to wait and see if, if things continue to look good. And then if the setup presents, then it presents. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Do you have a sheet which you can share? Where can one put? Yeah, I really like his book as well. I've read it cover to cover a couple times, actually. Ficos, appreciate it. Hey, do you have a sheet which you can maybe share where one can put in a list? Are you asking like how to build this little watch list thing over here, Ficos? Hey, Robbie, good to have you here. Hey, Figo, so if that's what you're asking, like how do you put this, how do you organize your watch list over here? It's really easy. You just click on these three dots right here, and you can click Add Section, and then it'll put in something like this where it says Section 1, double click it, and then you can just make it whatever you'd like. And then you could just organize it, so you could drag this around, and then that'll allow you to set it up like this. How do you hide the stock? The stock screener. This one? Just click it, I think. You just click and then click again. Oh, it's just Wasabi, that's because of the way that I'm recording the screen with OBS. It's just cut off. It's just cut off at the bottom. This is Trade-Evate. You can trade these, and also I'm funded with Top Step now, so and then through Top Step I use Trade-Evate as well. That is not a recommendation, by the way. You just asked, what broker I'm personally using. That is not a recommendation at all. I'm not affiliated with any company or anything like that, so please don't take that and think, hey, because he's using it, that it's safe or something like that. By no means am I saying that. That is just the ones that I have chose personally to use, so please don't take that. Take that with a grain of salt and make your own decisions. Do your own research. Please, please, please. Usually when people ask me that, I kind of stray away from giving that recommendation. So again, it's not a recommendation. With FTX and with all these other companies that are going under right now, the last thing I would ever want to do is say, hey, this is what I use, and then you all think that's because I use it, it's safe, and then you lose money because of that. That's why I'm not affiliated with any companies or anything like that. So, yeah, please don't take that the wrong way. Why did I switch to futures? Because the U.S. regulations were cracking down. MetaTrader, a lot of companies stopped accepting U.S. clients. People were telling me that futures was the way of the future, and I couldn't agree more. So I did my research, got me some education, and I decided that it was the best fit for me. And then also seeing the fact that I can trade pretty much everything that I was already trading, and all the candles and stuff look the same. It's like, well, I don't think that my transition will be that hard, and it really hasn't. The only thing that I've really had to adjust is the way that I manage positions, because I'm now using contracts, and obviously in Forex you can close partials of your lot size and things like that, size down, size up, whatever. And with futures and contracts, it's not like I can just sell half of a contract. So that was a slight adjustment for me, but other than that, it has been a seamless adjustment. Nico. And I actually wish that I would have made the shift sooner. I've heard people say that futures is the gentleman's market and all this other stuff, and honestly, I can kind of see what they're saying. Half lots, yeah. Well, you could do micro contracts, which are just worth less. No, it's really not too complicated. You just have to be able to fund your account, or you can just go the funded route as well, prop firm. If you find one that you think is reliable or whatever, doing your own research. Yeah, the Michigan sentiment's usually not that big of a news event, so if we get if a good presentation happens, around 9:30 or so, I would be willing to take that in the second hour. Well, when I was using Forex, when I was trading Forex, I would use Magic Keys, which is just like a little trade management physical handheld little thing. It looks like a calculator kind of, and it was really good because I could, at a click of a button, I could close a custom percentage, I could close half, I could close full. At the click of a button with my thumb, I could set profit targets. I could set, when it touches this line, my thing automatically goes to break. Like I kind of lost all of those functions. A lot of the things that I'm doing now are much more manual. So that part was a bit of an adjustment, but like that stuff is not hard. You know what I mean? Like learning the strategy and getting good at managing emotions, and that's all the stuff that's difficult. Clicking a button on a screen is, that's the easy part. If I can't do that, then I've got another problem. Hey, for all of you asking about pip value and tick value and all that stuff, just go to your broker. Most brokers have calculators that you can do, or you can just set up. Go to one of the things I like to do to test lot sizes and pip values and things. You can just go to the paper trading here on TradingView, because it literally means nothing. It's a demo account. Go to paper trading and go to a full contract. Just click buy or sell. Who cares? And then drag the thing up and see how much is a pip, how much is 25 pips, how much is 50. So like on one contract, 25 pips is $250, 50 pips is $500. And with that information in mind, that's how I can size. Like if I don't have a larger than 25 pip stop loss, that's like my starting point. Okay, well, one contract, I will lose $250 if I enter in with one contract. But if I have a smaller stop, or, when I start adding into a position, that's how I approach it. Or if I'm entering in, let's say that the candle itself that I'm entering in on is 30 pips, and it's, a really large candle, and I don't want to lose a certain amount. Well, that is larger than a 25 pip stop loss, so I'm going to enter in at the minimum amount that I can, and then if it starts to reconfirm or continues to confirm, then I'll just add more size on. But if my initial stop needs to be larger than 25 pips, then I'm going to enter in on the minimum size that I possibly can, and then add in from there to keep my risk down. My mindset is never, it's never about making money. My mindset is always about not only taking the best trade possible, but how little can I possibly lose when it doesn't go my way. Yeah, ticks, pips, whatever. You just do one of these. That's what I'm saying. So, okay, let's say that you have a $100,000 account. All right, you got a $100,000 account. What is 1% of 100,000? Think of it like this: 1% of 100,000. 25 pips on one contract is $250. Okay, so if I'm willing to lose that $250 on a $100,000 account, that means that I'm risking less than 1%, and I know that off the bat immediately. And then I make adjustments from there. I am not good at math. Like, I've never came out and told you all that I'm some, like, I've actually said the opposite. I've got a really special, super important degree, and I call it my high school diploma, and 8 years of military service, so I'm not exactly. Yep. We're still quite early in the day. This is just now it's just a waiting game. Okay, US dollar, Japanese yen, 5-minute chart. They've gone higher. So is this peak formation now void? They didn't just pen up through it. They have gone higher. So I might need to adjust this up. Something more like this. Yes, Paulie, there's news at 10. Michigan sentiment. And in fact, let me double check. Make sure the TradingView is not lying to me. Because that happens to me a lot where TradingView says one thing and then I go to Forex Factory and guess what? There's like a bunch of other news. No, so Friday, today, US dollar, we've got the 10 o'clock news. Y'all are calling out US dollar, Japanese yen. Yep, nice. Boy, that sure looks like a news candle, too. Oh, why did I do that? Go back. So there was it like orange news or something, AJ? I generally don't look for the orange news. I don't even have it up on my little calendar when I pull it up, but all right, we're gonna need to get rid of this. Seeing the screen this big is there we go. Any news is an excuse for them. Could not agree more. It's a facade. It's the veil. They pull the veil down over your eyes. Someone messaged me the other day and said, I thought the news was interesting because it came out positive, but the market went down. I was like, yeah, well, because it's all. So I think, this is my own personal opinion, I think it's all just a lie. And that's in line with the Steve Morrow thinking, right? That all this news is just an excuse for them to move the market. They obviously know a lot more than we do behind the scenes, all the insider stuff. They can plan how the market's supposed to look leading up to certain events. And the reason I've come to believe that and truly believe that is because we understand 3 levels of rise and fall, 3-day setups, all that kind of stuff. And then there just so happens to be 3 levels of rise and then a news event that capitulates the market to the downside. It's like, okay, yeah. So they didn't know 3 days ago what the numbers were going to be today, but it's set up perfectly for that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's my own belief. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I just take it as I see it, and that's my own personal opinion. Yeah, oil, Robbie, I think is every Wednesday at 10:30. I don't think that's what you're saying, but is there extra news today for some reason on oil? In fact, you know what? I've got Forex Factory pulled up. If you all don't know how to find the news, let's see here. Can I pull this up? You go to calendar, and then there's a little filter button right here, and you can just check the red box here, and that'll give you only the red news for the week. And then if you want to find like oil and things like that, just click on the little energy button down there, and then you can check and see what is the red news for the week. And every single week, there's inventories at 10:30. And then today on Friday, there is nothing. There's orange news at 10. Yeah, there's consumer sentiment or whatever. It'll show bank holidays. You might have just taught me something new. I'll have to go back and do that, Rim. Appreciate it. Okay, so US 30, we're looking for them to keep going lower. There's a peak formation that was made at the beginning of the session for low-hanging fruit. Let's see, how much was that? There's a low-hanging fruit right at the beginning of the session. I don't trade that early, but oil, yeah, look at that. That's what I was talking about this morning. You got to be very careful on this pair today. Not saying that it won't reverse, but I will say that this might be one of those delayed first green day reactions. First green day, 3 levels of drop. Day opens up. We start to get that curl. We might be doing a range expansion back to the high of the week, or even the high of the previous week. There's a lot of space to get back up there. Be very careful. Three-day setup. First green day, pause day, and then the completion of that first green day might be happening today. That curl looks explosive. I totally agree. You can see the acceleration. One of those. Dollar yen is gone. Where's it going? Oh. Nice. Well, 3 question mark was correct. At least I got the levels correct. But looks like we waited a little too long. No big deal. A lot of things started moving very early this morning, which you all know kind of makes me nervous, but we will see. US 30 might be leaving the building as well. Who knows? Let's see. Only time will tell. Nasdaq low-hanging fruit. Did it already happen? Yep. set up pretty similar to US 30 as well. You can see the little pump up, lower high, peak formation high, level 2 consolidation, dropping down, going to level 3. Plenty of room. Same thing with US 30. Low hanging fruit, lower low, pump up, 3 pushes. You can see the little separation of the pushes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Up, down, up, engulfment. They work the bottom of that peak formation low, or peak formation high, excuse me. And then there's the low hanging fruit. Plenty of room. Jamie, yeah, so I've categorized yesterday's first green. I just need the template to show me and the timing of day to show me that it's not just going to keep dragging me lower and lower because, like, let's be honest, first green day is great. However, when it presents a certain way, how many times has there been a first green day that you come to the screen and it's just capitulating to the downside? So I could be completely wrong. So what I need to see is 3 levels of drop, consolidation after 3 levels of drop, New York Open for the long trade. And if that doesn't happen, then, you know, it's been a good week and I'll just go on about my day. There's first green days, but you have to really, like, if I were to go back and study, I would study my first green days, all of the characteristics of that first green day on a days where it actually played out, where it actually worked out, where the trades actually made sense to take them long. Look at it in hindsight. What were the characteristics that led that trade to success? And then go and look at all the trades where first green day rolled over and went vertical to the downside. What were the characteristics? What happened? Identify all those things. Build a binder of examples of first green day working out and then first green day traps. Have a bunch of examples. And then do the same thing, first red day. Do the same thing for inside day. You get an inside day. What do the examples look like where that inside day turned into a range expansion? What kind of examples where that inside day turned into a reversal? You know, what kind of daily templates were there that led to that trade actually playing out? Do that for all of the different kinds of setups or signals and setups. And by the end, after 50, 100 plus hours of charting, you'll have everything that you need to know laid out. And then you can go back and study that binder. First time watching. That's really good, Jeezy. I appreciate that. If I'm not teaching a webinar, I'm going to start doing these live streams every single week on YouTube. Next week I am teaching, and I'm also sorry for continuing to bring this up, but I just want everybody to understand why I might be absent for a little bit. I am getting married this month, so things are going to be a little hectic, and I might not be streaming as much end of April, kind of coming into May. I might have to take a little time off to spend with family and my soon-to-be new wife. Family always comes first. Thank you very much. But as soon as all those kind of life, family event Okay, I need to watch gold. I'm going to wait for at least the second hour. I think we've got one more to go. But I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I might be about to lose that trade. Anyways, once all of those family events kind of die down, I will be, for the rest of this year and into the foreseeable future, every single week that I'm not teaching a webinar, doing these live streams on YouTube. Honestly, because I just genuinely enjoy doing them. I didn't know if I would. I thought maybe there would be a lot of distractions, but it's been really good for my own trading as well, because talking myself through the trade as I'm about to execute for you all, it's like also helping me as well to talk myself through it out loud. It really helps. So I've been really enjoying doing these, and you all seem to enjoy them, and people have been saying that they're getting a lot out of them, so I'm not going to gatekeep information that's just ridiculous. Why not help the whole world prosper? Yeah, that's my thoughts. What level of drop is you? 2. And we're maybe now going into 3. Peak formation high, end of day yesterday. Consolidation, level 1. Peak formation high, level of drop. So reset, right? This is level 1. They put in a peak formation to continue. Now we're into level 2. They did the same thing. Peak formation high to continue. We might be down in 3. We're also in the trap volume zone from yesterday. I don't want to see them just continue. I want to see them go back into consolidation and work the low of the day at this point. Gold. I was kind of still wanting to see them push up one more time. They flipped the pens to the upside, which is fine. But I kind of thought that maybe we would get one more move up. What time is it? We're about to come into a new hour. I thought US 30 was setting up a little bit better, Keaton. I like Nasdaq as well, but I thought that this was just the way that it was presenting was a little bit better. So I made the call, made the decision to watch this one. I really like Nasdaq as well, but sometimes US 30, you know, the way that they're setting up is a little bit different, and I just happen to choose this one. In fact, I think, what is silver doing? 1, 2, peak formation low. I think silver's got one more move up. I know you all don't have silver on the screen right now, but it is looking okay. I'm still convinced that I still think gold is going to go up one more time. And I know that that's a bold assumption, but I'm not getting caught in a short squeeze if they've got one more level of rise to go. Gold has also been going absolutely bonkers. You know, some kind of strong range expansion parabolic move. I don't want to get caught jumping in early. I'm going to be very patient with this and make sure that I'm seeing the levels right and the consolidation's correct. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to go back down to the 1. Now I'm going to watch how the pattern continues to develop down here. And at certain times of day, I'll shoot back to the 5-minute chart, coming into around new hours, pop back into the 5, see if there's M's and W's forming, see what the pattern's starting to look like on that lower or that higher time frame, and see if it even makes sense to be looking for what I'm looking for. Shaky, I agree. I'm going to be very patient because this is the way that they're spiking down over here, and they keep on ascending it just feels trap-like they've got another move up in them. And I still think that my dogs are rude. They know how to open doors, and it's ridiculous. Sorry. I still think gold's got another run to go. 9:30, 10 o'clock is probably going to be the time to watch. Yeah, something on the higher time frame, William. You know, we're not. If there's I'm talking higher time frame. You know, daily, weekly, monthly. There's something going on up there that is driving this. If the market always just did 3 levels up and 3 levels down, we would be in a trading range forever. Eventually, they have to expand, and it kind of feels like we've been in one of those expansions. So, like yesterday, I took a short on gold yesterday because of. Let's go back. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like, we're in a strong up move on gold, obviously, and I took it from the inside, but peak formation low, 1, 2, 3 to the high. Coil, peak formation, descending triangle. That gave me the opportunity to enter over here yesterday on gold, and this was a very strong, sharp snap back down. This was over 70 pips. You know, back down. So there's a good counter trend opportunity that I could just get in and get out. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Why not? So we might be looking at the same kind of development here today if it presents. Some tricky news this weekend. Yeah, I'm sure something crazy will happen. Who knows? Who knows who we're going to go to war with next, or what OPEC's going to do, or, you know, whatever. Who knows? Good 15-minute bar. Yeah, and the 5 or the 15, there was no lower low. That only happened on the 5. Okay, this peak formation's void. That is a 0. It gained $1 trillion in market cap in a week. Huh. Space, yeah, that's the Michigan sentiment, which I'm sure you already knew, but this is why I find the market so interesting, where in the psychology of things, right? Look at this nice double top. So if I'm sitting here trying to gather information about what is happening, double top, engulfment, immediately taken away. Whoa, okay. And then we get another double top, 1, 2, 3, engulfment. Whoa, and then immediately gets taken away. That's telling me something. Either 1, they're not done doing their work up top, or 2, you know, it's just not ready to go short. Which, if I'm looking for a short, then that gives me all the information that I need. We're going to skip those ads for you all. Let's see here. Hey, so one of the things that I like to do, and I've been doing more recently, is doing live recorded classes over on Discord. So I'm going to do a peak formations class today, and it's going to begin at noon. And that class is going to last for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. Talking about the 100 pip box, peak formations. I'm going to make sure to have a slideshow to present. Some kind of material that you all will be able to download, and then I'm going to record that, and I'll post that on YouTube sometime this weekend or today. So if you all would like to attend that, of course, it's free. The link to the Discord's down in the description below. I've had a lot of people asking about peak formations and how to use the 100 pip box, so I think this is a good time to do that class. People seem to be interested in learning how to use that tool in the toolbox. I'm trying to check my thing here. 193. We're at 193 in here. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all being here. I think today's going to be, could turn out to be a decent one. Just need to play it patient. Wait for things to set up properly. I'm still staring at silver as well. And silver's doing kind of what I want to see. They're making another level of rise right now. Also, silver spiked the high, spiked the low. What is that on Wednesday? That is a day zero heartbeat pattern. Now we're going vertical. Okay, gold and silver are going vertical right now. Good stuff. Ooh. All right, we've got the new hour just began. So this right here, this is the start of my new hour. So now we can mark or watch the behavior that occurs from this point on. Oil is displaying some interesting behaviors. There's 9 o'clock's open. That line is not straight. Now it's straight. There we go. And then I'll come over here and take a glance at the US or the CAD. Okay. All right, so now US 30 has gone lower. This peak formation is now void. They have broken through and obliterated this zone. Not to say that this first green day is necessarily invalidated. However, they pumped it up into the close, went to a rectangle, and have started to capitulate on a Friday. Whew. Very, very careful, very, very cautious. Watch the consolidations. Watch for a short squeeze. If it presents properly. If it doesn't, they're just going to keep going. And I need to be very aware of that so I don't get caught trying to do something weird. So what would I need to see? I need to see them go into consolidation. I need to see them put in a middle structure. I need to see them trade back down into the low. I need to see an engulfment of that W, but I'd be watching on a lower time frame for that. There's a lot of things that need to happen before I'd be willing to take a long on this. Same thing over here. I would need an M. Did I say M over here? I meant W. If I said M, I have no idea what I'm talking about. W. M. M. Well, I need another level up, so that's out of the question. But M as well. They have to go up pretty high and then put a new M in. Opening range 1, 2, 3, back down into the low, but we just keep going. No big deal. On gold, we have 3 levels of rise on 15-minute and a large W. Yep. So that if this is level 1, 2, that W signifies the move to go up to 3. Think about how the market is fractal. They put in a high, they put in a low, and then they rise. They put in a high, they put in a low, and then they rise. That's why you don't want to overcomplicate everything. It's just, hey, what level am I in? Understand that regardless of what level you're in, so let's say that I'm in level 2, which I believe that this is, they're going to put in a high. They're going to give 3 levels of drop or 3 pushes down. They're going to manipulate the low. They're going to put in a peak formation, and that will signify the rise to the next level. Excuse me, I thought this was 1. So level 1. Level 2, same thing. They put in a high. They drop it down. They manipulate the low, or they hit the low, put in a peak formation low. So now we might see them go up one more time. GS, I hope that answered your question. I would call US CAD, yeah. 3 question mark ending in 1, 2, 3. That would be the category. Baza, if you go back about 3 years, Stacey Burke has 33 videos. That 33 trade came from Steve Morrow, so you can look up the 33 trade through Beat the Market Maker. But it's really not even that complicated. It's just, hey, I've got 3 levels, and then in the 3rd level, it ends in 3 pushes. So on the day, 3 levels, 3 pushes. So 3 levels throughout the week, or 3 days of rise, or fall, whichever one, and then that ends on the day. 3 levels, right? High of day, low of day, ending in a 1, 2, 3. So those are the ones that Steve, he starts like shouting into the mic. He's like, "You're gonna get paid," blah blah blah. Like those are that's a really good trading setup that usually yields a very large move, which is why on my trading plan it's up there on the scale in plan. Back up the Brink truck. Yep. That guy cracks me up. His sermons are funny to listen to. Not sermon, but you know what I'm talking about. His stuff on YouTube. With his Diet Coke and his shouting. I love it. I didn't love it when I was first learning how to trade because I was unbelievably confused. But once I kind of started to figure out what he's talking about. Robbie, you got all these quotes like put out on a piece of paper, just like ready to go? You got like a spreadsheet made? That'd be so funny. But that's good. Yeah, we are in a strong waiting game right now. Okay, oil. Obviously, this breakout. They also didn't retest. They didn't retest this previous day's high. That guy right there, he's got the Lamborghini. He's calling the dealership right now. He just called the home loan company. He's telling them, hey, I'm ready. He's got to stop maybe at break even now. But this might turn into a range expansion. This is you could see the parabolic nature of this pattern. peak formation high and low, and then the curve and acceleration, sort of a channel here. They spiked the low of the channel and went vertical. Careful. That's all I'll say. What I do like is that things are looking fairly clean. Like the way that the structure is built, the way that the rectangles have formed, the way that price is moving. I like that. I don't like coming to the session and just seeing a whipsaw of ridiculousness. Those are the types of days where you get just obliterated and it hurts. JP, you're saying it could, it certainly could be. But I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to wait. Now, this is a break in structure and maybe 1, 2, and 3 back to the high. So, absolutely, certainly could be. What is silver doing? Oh, silver's back at the high. What about NG, natural gas? Boy, that is a pretty pattern. What a template. Natural gas template is incredible. I don't know who out there is a little charting nerd like me, but looking at that weekly template is inspiring. Go look at natural gas right now and then look at the peak formation that was made on Monday. Level 1, level 2, level 3 could not be any more clear. First red day on Wednesday, and then yesterday. Oh boy. That was a trade setup and a half. Anyways, I digress. Pound. Y'all are saying the pound. Is it back into consolidation? All right, I'll watch the pound. Yeah, it's the same exact template, Ryan, as well. Natural gas from last week. They literally just did the exact same thing this week. Except last week's is... I think the 3 levels last week was almost even more clear. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Peak formation high, high of week, first red day. Following day. Pretty much the exact same time of day, too. 10 o'clock and... Oh, no, it was 8 o'clock. Boy. Oh, boy. Keaton, I'm inclined to agree with you. Now they did just put in a middle structure on oil, which is not exactly the worst thing. 9 o'clock. Let's see if they trade back down into that. Low-hanging fruit on gold to go long? Paulie? Is that what you're asking? I would not look for low-hanging fruit to go long on gold. We're up too high. The risk is too great, in my opinion. Oh, short? It wouldn't be a low-hanging fruit. It'd be 3 sessions, high of day sell. Do I play Age of Empires? No, I don't know what that is. Paulie, low-hanging fruit is a trade setup that has already began moving. So, for example, if I had a short thesis on US 30 and I was like, okay, this is dropped down, it's pumped back up, the move has already started, it's already began, but I'm only in level 1 or level 2 consolidation. Okay, they've pumped it back up. I'm going to take a low-hanging fruit trade back down through the low. But the trade was up here. I'm getting in late based off of a larger thesis, and I'm just going to collect a scalp back down. Oh, we hit 200 in the stream this morning. Fantastic stuff. Love it, love it. All right, we've got, 15 minutes to the New York Open. We got a few things that need to happen before I can even go down to the 1-minute chart. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'm going to go grab me a sippy, a little drink. I will be right back, 30 seconds. All right. Diet Coke, perhaps? No. You know, Diet Coke's actually got, what is that, aspartame or whatever in it? And that's worse than sugar. What a double-edged sword that is. I actually don't really drink soda. Not that you all even care, but... Oh my gosh, geez. No, I don't drink either. Okay, so this is put in. Still just doesn't quite look right. Yes, I'm going to be doing my live trading on YouTube from now on. I have finally built enough confidence for it to not affect my trading. I was very worried that trading here on YouTube, I would feel the need to perform a certain way to appease or to, you know, whatever. I have no idea. Some weird subconscious thing, but I'm over that. And if I don't take a trade, I feel very okay with that. Yep, just gonna keep being me and doing the same thing over and over again each day. Repetition. Okay, so oil now made another run. Big pin hammer to the high at the high of the day. I'm going to put that line there. Let's see how, coming into 9:30, how they react at that level. I appreciate you all. Honestly, the first stream that I did on YouTube is part of the reason why I felt so good about continuing, is because I was worried that I was going to, you know, start streaming and then people would come in here and start shouting at me and being hateful or whatever. And that's the last thing I need to stay calm and actually trade. You know, that's, but y'all's support has been so good. It's like, well, I've kind of washed away those worries. So thank you for that. The internet is a wild place. Okay, so oil 5-minute chart, we're trading back up into the high. I've got this line down here as my potential for middle structure. If they trade back down into it, that's good. They did engulf 9 o'clock back up to the upside. Not a very solid run, but okay, gold's done the same. You can see 9 o'clock's open. They spiked up. They've spiked down. I still think that it's got that one last run to go to the high. Gazo, I appreciate that. All right, what is oil doing? Let's go. I'm going to take a look at oil on the one. Wow, that is a... Okay, so oil on the 1 hour is just going straight up. And you can see on the 1 hour on oil, that parabolic channel is very clear. Previous week's high was made on Friday of last week. And we're underneath the peak formation high that was made on Friday at the high. But there's still space to get back up to the high of last week. Like if I were to zoom out, man, look at that. That curve from Friday of last week is right there. I would not be shocked if they reached for that. Of course, Oprah. And also, Oprah, I do hope that you, I know that you said you did, but I do hope that you enjoyed that week-long class and it gave you some kind of clarity. Or at least made you feel like you're better off than you were. We've got 5 minutes to the New York Open. Definitely waiting for after that. Before I even look to do anything. Low. There's really no well-defined high. But they have not made a higher high, not even on the 1 minute chart. What about the pound? What is the pound looking like? How you doing? Okay. Good stuff, Oprah. Oprah, do you feel like that's one thing that maybe I should add to the class about peak formations? Like maybe I should add slides in there that are more dedicated to peak formations? Like, is that something you would have liked to have seen? Because I do cover them during that week, but maybe you feel like I needed to hit on it a bit more. The only reason I don't like Nasdaq is because it still has unbelievable amount of room to go to the low. That's part of the reason I was watching US 30 is because we're already at the low. And we've triggered previous day's low on this pair. That's part of the criteria for me choosing this one. Oil continuing to go vertical. Don't necessarily want to counter trend that right now. US 30's really spiking it down into the low. Oh, I'm going to skip those ads for you all. I don't need you all missing anything. There we go. 5 minute. 15. What does a 15 look like? Big spike down, big spike down, big spike down. Okay. I'm still watching silver as well. Silver has gone right back up. Basically 3 sessions of rise on silver. All right, Oprah, I'll have to add that in there. Make it part of the curriculum. Okay, we're at the 9:30 open now. Click the wrong thing. Alright, do that. US 30, I wanted to see them trade back down into the low. I need to see them create a peak formation at the low of the day. And this little V bottom is not enough for me. The only thing I'm worried about with gold is that, you know, yeah, we got lower low, 1, 2, 3. If this turns into a W, that'd be good. But I kind of feel like maybe it's got one more move up. Shaky, that's not really something that I would normally do. If I'm being honest. It's not like an actual trading setup that I would take. At least not in this specific instance, the specific context of what's happening in the market. Wait for the news. Yeah, there's a good chance. Good chance that's what I should be doing, is just waiting. Of course, things can change in an instant. I don't know. Let's go take a look at the CAD. What is the CAD? That is quite interesting, isn't it? Spike the low early, get people to start shorting, trade back up into the high, get people going long, stop out the early shorts. I'm not going to be able to set this up on my broker fast enough. But whoever just said that about the 3 levels and maybe the sell setting up, I agree. Not to say that I'm telling you should take it. Please don't take that as, oh, I'm going to take this because Cam said no. Make your own decisions, but it definitely seems like it's doing the right things. Okay, peak formation low, 1, 2, 3. Peak formation high, trades back down into the low. Wouldn't be bad. Gold. Still trailing back up towards the high. That's good. I still want to kind of wait for them to go higher one more time. So that's exactly what I'm waiting for. Lower low, higher high, peak formation low. There's a W. Well, we've got news. Boy, they really did a number. That 930 open, if you look at the 5-minute chart on gold, they did a number. They really did some work trapping shorts. $211 in the stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is the new high. Pretty cool. I think in one of these live streams, I'm probably going to do some kind of giveaway or whatever. I just recently hit 15,000 subscribers as well, which is amazing in itself. But I'd like to figure out a way to kind of give back to you all some way, somehow. Whether it be like a course giveaway or trading journal or maybe both or something like that. I think it'd be good. Lambo? Oh gosh. That's I'm not Mr. Beast. All right, we don't have that level of income. Maybe we'll do that. A little like course giveaway in the journal. And I do have magic keys, and maybe I could give that away somehow for anybody that trades Forex still. I'm never going to use this magic keys again, so maybe I could figure out a way to give that away, but I'd have to somehow. I think there's like a licensing thing where you have to register. I think I have to find the card in order for you to kind of do that. Magic Keys is a trade management tool for your, for like MT4, MT5, and I think that they expanded. You can use it on something else as well. I can't remember what platform. C Trader, that's right. Boy, 9 o'clock is really holding. They are just whipping back and forth. I agree. Gold is very messy. Silver looks to be a little bit better right now. or like it could turn into something better. $9.30 spiked the low. They spiked the high. Pulled back down towards the low. Really would like to see them go vertical one last time. Just absolutely annihilate all these people. Blow out their accounts. And then go back into consolidation for the reversal. Yep, there goes gold. We're going to blow out everyone's accounts real quick. Good stuff. I mean, I certainly don't hope that happened, Ryan, but it's just the cynical thought process of trading where you have to watch people get kind of destroyed, watch other people be wrong and get, hit the stops, and then shift. I certainly don't want anybody losing their house, like losing money by any means, but yeah, I do have bad jokes. Forgive me. They're terrible. Yep, I'm waiting for that 10 a.m. news. I do think the pound is peak formation high, hit the stops early, spike to low, hit the stops, peak formation low. This has potential to explode on that third level of drop now. Also, the 15-minute chart just made it a W at the low of the day. The only thing that kind of stinks is the news is like looming. Yep, Rim, exactly. They've got to collect money somehow. They got to fill their orders somehow. Unfortunately, they're piggybacking off the backs of everybody who's wrong. Last thing we want to do today is get caught in a parabolic move going the wrong way. That'd be a terrible way to end the week. All right. I do think the pound looks good for. I'm not going to do it though because of the news. I'm going to hold off. Which, you know what? That might come back and bite me. If they start going vertical before the news to the upside, I've just missed it and whatever. But I would rather not feel 50-50 about my decision. Right. We got 9 minutes to the news. $125 ticks today. Good stuff. Where are they going so fast and in a hurry? Oh yeah, silver's still going higher. Gold's still going bonkers. Through the roof, through the ceiling. Good call on that. Waiting for the next level, though. US 30, peak formation low, peak formation high. Have I miscounted? Are we going to keep going lower? Was this a low-hanging fruit back down to the low, and I've missed it because I'm keep looking for the wrong direction? Honestly, that's okay. Now, oil, they broke out of this. 1, 2, 3 to the high. Not a bear candle in sight. Let's come on down. Let's take a look at behavior or price. What are we doing? I think I'm going to watch the 5 coming into the 10 o'clock. I'm just going to wait patiently. Okay, so oil, peak low, peak high. That's a signal for either continuation or they're going to trap in the third level to the low. They need to come back down, go back into consolidation, give me a W. This might turn into a larger W, or this is just going to continue to dump, in which case I will abandon and, you know, well played, market, you know, be all right. Godwin, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for here on the pound. And the timing of everything needs to be, you know, impeccable. It needs to be perfect. We got the news at 10. I don't want to trade before that. So if they could just keep on going lower, which is a good possibility, you know, that means wait I need to wait, or I'm wrong, or whatever. But at the very least, keeping myself out of poor quality trades if the setup doesn't present. That was definitely a first green day trap. I would not be surprised even a little bit. It certainly feels that way, doesn't it? TR, no. I'm still waiting. Things are not presenting perfectly the way that I would hope for or expect. So, hey, Godwin. So, 3 days of breakouts. Let's simplify this. Yeah, 3 days of breakouts. That would be 3 days of rise or fall. Go and watch the those blue thumbnail videos, which you've probably already seen, but think of it from the perspective of 3 days of breakouts or 3 days of whatever. Those 3 days of breakouts are signifying 3 levels of rise within a market maker template. And that's where that comes from. So search for the 3 levels within the market maker template, in addition to the fact that there's 3 days of breakouts, and you have your answer. Last Friday close on the Nasdaq. We got 2 minutes to the news. What's going on with last Friday's close? Oh, I see what you're saying. Basically coming down and tapping right back down into it. Uh-oh. Skip those ads. Okay, we've got 1 minute. Let's go down. Take a glance. What's happening? Okay, there's our 10 o'clock news. Okay, 7 to 14 minutes after the news. Okay, news, they've spiked up, spiked down. Remember I was saying I really want to wait for them to trade kind of back down into the low. Gold just engulfed. There's that 10 o'clock open. Immediately took it away. They're still trapping shorts. Still no reason to go long, or excuse me, short. They just keep dragging higher and higher. Pound dollar, I've still got it up here on the screen. Vivek. This little channel here. Man, gold is working people. They are absolutely working them. Please go short. Please go long. Also notice how they ascended the close of that down close candle. So if I shorted the news, I'm hooked as of right now. All right, obviously things can change in an instant, but that's my thought process as of this very second. We've got people shorting all these down close candles, which means that there's people caught short here. They didn't let them out. We got people caught short here. They didn't let them out. They're letting out the longs right now. Yikes. All right. All right. So that's one of those things where, you know, when you talk about entry criteria and thinking about behavior of price at a level or at a certain time of day, and you're trying to figure out which direction to go or whatever, it's not about the direction. It's about, do I have a setup that's formed? I've got 3 levels of rise, sure. But as I narrow it down further and further to try and figure out when to enter, behavior of price is telling me no. So that tells me to wait. All right, same thing here. There's a higher high and a what appeared to be a W forming, but now we're going vertical to the downside. That's not right. That's not supposed to happen. All right, so, you know, you come into something with an expectation, and that's totally okay. But if the market doesn't prove it to me, that doesn't mean just, you know, YOLO kind of entry. No, I'm just going to sit patiently and wait. And if it doesn't present, then I'll come back the next day and see if it presents better. Now, today is Friday, and we're expecting parabolic moves, but that doesn't mean that the move is going to set up perfectly on this day. Stuart, and that's exactly why I don't watch other pairs to try and compare and contrast what is going to make the other one do whatever, because there are so many times when that is just not the truth, and then you get analysis paralysis, and I start freaking out because it's like, oh gosh, well, this one's doing this and that one should be doing that based off. No, it's just going to confuse me. So I try to avoid doing that. Okay, we're 1 minute away from the new 5-minute bar, and we're a little bit past the midpoint of about past the midpoint of a 15-minute bar. So we're 9 minutes after the news. Where's my 10 o'clock open? Right there. There's my 10 o'clock open. There's my 10 o'clock open. New hours open. Push, push, push. Got some good stuff. Yeah, it's a huge part of my decision making. Nice. I don't know where you all got in, if it was before the news or whatever, but there's the news right there. Peak formation high, news, engulfment. Gold still wrecking people's lives, one bar at a time. All gold is showing me is that this is a very strong parabolic move. And I better be sure before looking for anything other than that. They are absolutely obliterating shorts right now. The real question is, where in the world is the pound going? Okay, we've got 2 minutes to the end of this 15-minute bar. All the market's doing right now is telling me, hey, you're wrong. They're like flicking me in the forehead right now. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's such a strange thing in life to be wrong, but then feel good about being wrong and having not taken action. I think that's one thing that maybe I struggled with quite a bit before, was like I just wanted to be right. And then now, not, I don't want to say I pride myself in, but I feel good about when I'm wrong at the beginning of a day. I say, hey, this is what I'm looking for on the day. And then I'm just wrong altogether and I didn't take action against the market. It's like, okay, well, good. If you're wrong, at least have the ability to know when you're wrong and wait patiently. Because at the very least, now you're not losing money. And then whenever you're right and the market proves that you're right, you've removed those previous losses and you can just put your account in the right direction instead. Definitely no first bounce. No, absolutely not. Yeah, Benny, I'm really sorry to hear that. Um, and it hurts for me to hear. It also makes me feel bad about making those jokes about gold wrecking people. Okay, look at US 30. What just happened? Are they leading people into the low? Or is this about to go bonkers to the downside? Not that I'm going to take the short by any means, but yeah, exactly, Robbie. It's the psychology of the market and things like that. That's very true. Space. Always coming in with the casual, hey. Love it. Good to have you here. Okay, that was the open of a new 15-minute bar. Today really feels like one of those Fridays where they just do not come back. They just run people into the close. So I'm gonna wait around another 15 or so minutes. But if something doesn't present in a way that is so perfect to me that I can't, if it doesn't present in a way that's so perfect that I can't just not unsee it, then I'm gonna call it. I am watching US 30 right now. The way that this 5-minute high they broke, they made a higher high. I'm watching this pattern right now. We're gonna see, but if they just keep going lower, then well, nice. big is this? How big is this little candle right here? Oh, that's a big candle. Okay. I just checked the 1 hour chart on US 30, and I got to tell you, just something about the three. You can see 1 and 2 and 3 down, but there's no, unless this whole thing turns into a huge W. Like, the pattern to me just doesn't seem to make sense. Kind of feel like I'm looking for the wrong thing. What in the world? Goodbye, pound. See you later. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. I'll be honest, this almost convinced me. Like, I almost went long on this candle, but I popped up to the 1 hour and I did not feel good about it. I think I'm mainly focused on gold and US 30 right now. But neither of them have really convinced me in any sort of way. I'm still getting that crazy feeling like, hey Cam, your thought process is sound, but you're wrong. You're looking for the wrong things, man. Looking for the right things. Those things just haven't presented. Pop the screen here and take a little look. Kind of think I might take this stream all the way to 11 today, so we'll give it another 30 minutes. Because the last time that I turned off the stream, and you know what happened almost immediately? I took a trade. And I don't want to do that. If I take a trade, I want you all to be able to experience it. So I will wait, continue to be patient, not take a trade just so that I can take one for you all. And if we get to 11 and there's nothing that I feel confident or good about, then we will close out. Still get about 200 people in here, which just absolutely blows my mind. Thank you all so much for being here. And I'm glad it seems like you all are getting a lot out of these streams, so fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, US 30, if you look at the 1 minute, they have spiked the low. If you scrunch this up a little bit and we go to the 1 minute. If you study this consolidation, they spike the low, they spike the high. Now we pull back in. Alexander, hello. I'm going to skip these ads for you all. Poke my head over and saw. Good to, I don't want you all to miss anything. We are sure getting late in the session, aren't we? Pretty late in the morning. And the last thing I want to do, again, is take a trade that maybe it's setting up for the afternoon session, and I'm just, I'm seeing it in the morning. Kareem, I've actually got silver up on my other screen. That's the one I was watching. I don't know if you heard me go, ooh. Silver looks interesting. But also with gold and silver and things being in these large, strong parabolic moves, they're going to, if they do some strong work up top, up top, I don't want to get caught in that. There's also not been a break in structure to the downside on silver. We're still making higher highs and higher lows even on the 1 minute chart. Yep, you can see oil's curling higher. Do I still have that line up there? Or is that the line right? I think that's the line right there, isn't it? For previous week's high. Ooh. Deep breaths. Okay, silver making another little run back up to the high. Yep, that's what this line that goes across. I'm pretty sure I've got that as I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's last Friday's high. Space, that's how I feel too. I'm kind of getting there. I've been at the screen for a really long time. And nothing is presented the way that I've anticipated or was looking for. Today's starting to feel like maybe it was an all-in day for most pairs. I mean, it just, things have been dragging and dragging and dragging. Crypto King, next week I'm teaching a webinar, but the week after that I will be doing these lives again. Any weeks that I'm not teaching webinars, I will do these lives here on YouTube. Yep, US 30 is just dragging and dragging and dragging people lower. In. Space, I really wouldn't be surprised. It's obviously in a very strong parabolic move. That might open up some opportunity for next week, but obviously it doesn't really help us for today. Jay, me too. I had a lot of thesis, a lot of ideas, and they're just not doing it for me. It feels like a very special run up right before it explodes through last week's high. So in this consolidation, there's somebody trapped short there, there, and there. Is there now going to be someone trapped short there? Yep, that's exactly what happened. But I usually don't do that, Sanj. If I come into a session with a thesis to look for a certain specific thing, usually I don't flip on myself and start looking for the other direction. I'll just keep looking for the setup throughout the session, and if I continue to be wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean I take a trade. I just wait until the market proves me right. And if it doesn't, then I just don't take the trade, but I don't usually flip and start looking for the other direction just because I'm wrong. I'll just end the day being wrong and then come into a new day. Tyler, no worries. And good stuff. I'm glad you got something out of it. Yep. I'm getting mighty close to just calling it a day. In fact, you know what? Let's just end on a positive note. Nothing set up. Nothing has really done what I wanted to see based off the setups that I thought could be presenting off the signals. I'm going to end this week on a positive note. And we'll come into next week looking for the same exact setups. I thank you all. Thank you all for hanging out. Glad you've enjoyed the stream. Next week, I'll be teaching a webinar. If you would like to attend that, I still have open spaces. Please feel free to message me on Discord, and we can work something out. If not, I will see you the week after here on YouTube. You'll have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.